let's begin with the very first game in league, the very first games in league history. And we're going to start off with the weeks 1. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, manage the lead rules. Okay. This is interesting. So you can add expansion franchises. Yep, 12 games per season. 12 games per season, 2 playoff teams. Yep, everything looks great. Now, let's advance the week and let's get underway here. Now, excuse me. First off, we got the Parkersburg, West Virginia Lightning against the Gillette, Wyoming Reapers. Everyone's been talking about it. Everyone's from, Stadium Noise, Draft Guru. A lot of fans are liking it, liking the games. But our first ever game in league history, Gillette, Wyoming. Wow, they did really good on that. I mean, they did really good. 27-7. Not too shabby. I mean, they did really good. So far, so good. Next up, Atlantic City and Springfield. Atlantic City beats Springfield, and the good news is a lot of people are liking it. I mean, 295 people in attendance. That's not surprising that people do not want to go to these games, but it's brand new. It's a brand new lead. It's like, what do you expect, right? Kalispell and Norman, Oklahoma. Man, Kalispell pulls off the win against Norman in a very tight game. Nice game. Yeah, it was not a great TV broadcast, but at least people came into kind of like there's some attendance. It seems like there's people liking the attendance. 88 sold, 32 sold on the premium, and 13 club tickets. It doesn't look too bad. 448 broadcast viewers. That doesn't look too shabby. So already on a hot start. Already we're kind of an interesting start so far. And then the final game, Concord Steelers and Gettysburg Corsairs. All right, and we had an instant classic on this one, 27-17, kind of more of a high scoring one, and 330 viewers. Not a lot of viewers, but we'll see how these things go in the next 12 weeks. Like I said, we'll see how those things go in the next 12 weeks. Like I said, it's gonna be a long season. But we already been making fans, 1,077 fans already into this first week. We actually been looking great. Analytics wise, yes, we're at a loss. We're operating at a loss. We are at least making $113,000 at least. I always look at it that way. It seems like people are liking it. People are kind of wanting to get in the deals, and that's great because now people are interested. Now, the question is, are people going to be interested as we get into the next weeks? Because once we get into that, that's going to be the biggest deal. That's going to be the biggest kind of thing. And like I said, this is going to be like $1 million in lead advertising, 209,000. I mean, that's a lot of money. And already, player salaries are not that much right now. So, already not in a really good loss, but the way I see it, it's still a plus for the fact that people like it. Plus, people are buying t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hats. So at least there's a profit to it. People are starting to like that. There's a recognition to the lead so far for the first week. So at least people are interested. Now, get into the next week. Now, anonymous sponsor offer. Anonymous contracts offer you a lead of a lump sum sponsor worth $2 million. The offer could be genuine or a scam. If it turns out to be fake, the negative price will cost us some fans. And it looks like there's a 50-50, and I am declining that because when I played this the first time, it didn't go well. So we're not doing that, and we're not going to hurt our season of play. So we're going to play a little bit more smarter when it comes to it. Now, as of right now, it seems like also we're having people interested still. I mean, look at our first week. Look at our viewership. 714 in attendance, 295, 166, 133. First week doesn't look too shabby. And it looked at the Kalispell game looked like a very interesting on the TV rating specter. So not too shabby on the TV ratings already in this first week. Doesn't look too shabby, doesn't look too bad. I mean, I could have seen worse. I have seen leagues like the USFL just really didn't do well in their first season. So, you know what I mean? I've seen worse. I've seen a lot worse than this. So, I kind of look at it as a positive. Like I said, you always want to look at a positive, always. Especially in the business standpoint. Because any kind of enthusiasm at that point, people are going to be kind of, you know what I mean? People are going to, like, you know, if you're like, the way I look at it, and this is the kind of a mentality thing in business, is you always want to look at the positive things, even if they just don't go well, right? It is what it is. It's the business, right? It's just, you know, for sports industry, it is like, I always think of it like this. Sometimes when you're operating at a loss, it is what it is. You got to run with the show with it. You got to run like in the theater, right? The show must go on until it ends, right?